What is up guys, AJ here, and in today's video we're going to see what it's like using the iPhone 5S in 2020. For the most part, this video is going to be filmed using just the iPhone 5S camera and microphone. Here's my iPhone 5S along with a headphone jack and an Intel Core i5 sticker because why not? I really had a case on this phone, so you can see that it's got a number of chips across the body, but even though it's a 6-year-old phone, it still feels premium. It has the first generation Apple Touch ID, which you can see by the gold rings around its home button, which works surprisingly well. This phone has just been restored and updated to iOS 12.4.6, even though we're up to iOS 13.4. This particular phone has 16 gigs of storage, which once you add in the operating system, doesn't leave a lot for your photos, videos, and other things. I remember one of the biggest reasons for me upgrading from this phone originally was because towards the end of its life, it was getting me maybe through half a day. So I'm going to test what the battery life is like now, but I've also jumped on eBay and I've ordered a replacement battery kit for about 15 bucks, 15 Aussie dollars.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes using the iPhone 5S and I have an update for you guys already. The first one is the battery life is terrible, but that's to be expected of a phone this old. And the second thing is easier if I show you. So I've got the DJI Osmo Mobile 3, the new gimbal. And here I've got my iPhone 5. So watch what happens when I try and put it in. So it just goes in and straight out. This old flagship doesn't even fit in the latest gimbals. Like I said, one of the most frustrating things about this phone is the battery, and it must be faulty. It'll jump from 50 to 10 to 3%, plug it back in, jumps to like 80% charge, all within a minute or two. So to really test the battery life, I'm going to set it up and I'm going to run a YouTube challenge to see how long it will last. There's almost nothing on the phone. There's going to be no apps running but the YouTube, full brightness and connected to Wi-Fi. I reckon it's going to get maybe 30 minutes. Battery test done. It got 3 hours and 5 minutes, 3 hours and 6 minutes, which is actually really impressive. I thought it'd get 30 minutes, maybe an hour. Of course, 3 hours is a lot less than the original 10 hours and 31 minutes it was rated at. But, it's an old phone, it's an old battery, it's had a number of updates done to it. So really to get 3 hours or just over is quite impressive. I'm not going to bother seeing what the new battery does because realistically, if you get an iPhone 5S in 2020, you're most likely not going to bother replacing the battery, or if you do, you're probably going to end up spending more on the battery replacement than what the phone is worth, right? Cool, this is my midway point of using the phone for the week. I thought I'd give you guys a few of my thoughts. Battery life, put that aside for now. The phone feels great. I mean, comparing the 5S to my iPhone X, the 5S feels great in my hand because it's not got that glass back. It's not slippery and it actually doesn't feel as precious or like I'm going to break it. So I feel a lot more comfortable holding the 5S than I do holding my iPhone X when they're both without the case. In terms of screen size, yeah, of course it's a smaller screen size, but really that hasn't impacted my viewing of YouTube or it hasn't impacted my content viewing at all. Your eyes adjust to it really quite quickly. I'm really surprised at the camera quality. I've been recording the majority of this video on the 5S using the iPhone microphone, using the front-facing camera, and I'm really impressed with actually how well the camera looks and how good the inbuilt microphone is. Of course, it's no match for the latest flagship phones or even mid-range phones like the Google 3A, but I think for a 6-year-old phone, Apple were really ahead of the game with the quality of this camera. Because the phone's locked on iOS 12, you don't get the swipe to type from iOS 13, and really that's one of the biggest things that I miss. I've gotten so used to just swiping between the keys. I know you can put another app on there, but I really love the fact that Apple had integrated it into iOS 13 and it works really well on my iPhone X. So that is probably one of the biggest things that I do miss. So it's been a week and we've come to the conclusion of the experiment, and I've got some sad news for you guys. Yesterday during the battery replacement, once I took the screen off, I realized that the chassis from all those years of not having a case on it. One or a few of those chips had actually broken the chassis of the screen, which means that during the battery replacement, we couldn't get the screen back on. So, what are my thoughts about the iPhone 5S in 2020? It was fun, it was nostalgic, and it brought back a lot of memories. Overall, it's not worth it. If you are looking for a one-handed iPhone to use in 2020, I'd strongly consider having a look at the iPhone SE, but don't bother with the 5S. Guys, this is my first YouTube video, so I'd like to say thank you for watching. I hope it was entertaining. And if you have any thoughts, feedback, or comments, please leave it in the section below. I'll see you next time.